audio before we keep going on any further. A couple of tasty ones in there. We'll go over some of those lines here in a second. If we got good audio, maybe we just play one. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm getting warmed up. I don't know how it's going to go. Just getting it loose. A flub or two, but who cares? I haven't been on my practice regime on improvisation as much as I should lately. But having fun with that in the key of D minor. I want to show you some concepts through that. And talk to myself a bit as we look at some things that I've been kind of trying to stay, reinvigorate the practice around improvisation. Because I've been doing so much work stuff. So sometimes you got to get away from it, come back to it, that kind of thing. And there's some chord changes in here that are kind of just basic that makes it a great song to kind of practice your improvisation over. You know, just this like, that it's kind of a rock thing that's fusion-y. So when you have a rock thing, something I consider very rock is like a flat 6, flat 7, 1. So if we're in the key of D, that would be B flat, C, and then D minor. Flat 6, so we got 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. So when I see this, that can also be like 4 of F, right? So I'm seeing all this like that, right? And from a soloing standpoint, a lot of this can just be played through as D minor pentatonic. Using that as a framework and a skeleton across this makes life easier, but you kind of shortchange yourself on some really colorful sounds. Right? When you're just blowing through the rock stuff, it sounds just kind of not pentatonic-y, but it sounds like not predictable is not the right word, but it just sounds like one knows what's going to happen. So it all sounds like D minor. When that B flat is alternating, one thing I'm seeing around the B flat is I try to think a little bit more kind of like my mandolin fiddle player roots. And I see more like this rolling kind of sound. Like that's obviously all the scale of F or D minor. But in the context, you get this sharp 11 sound when you really lay into that E. And that's something that I like. It's a Lydian kind of thing, but over. Yeah, that sound. It sounds real sussy. So let me show you, when you're thinking through this, you're trying to, this may be below some people's difficulty level, and this may be above some people's difficulty. I'm just kind of shooting from the hip, just kind of talking some concept, talking some guitar. So if you know your scales and you know how they connect, and by scales, I'm not saying this. I mean, like, knowing that information in multiple formats, multiple fingerings, the geometry of the fretboard. It's being able to see this thing kind of happening in 3 octaves at the same time, right? There's your basic pentatonic thing, right? Moving that up to the next octave. And the last octave. So if you have one idea, you've now got it 3 times. So it's getting the most out of one concept. I think I played that lick at the beginning of the solo. That lick right there, it'd be like having that available in the next octave down. So now when we start framing out that flat 7 chord, we can start hearing the chord changes move around us instead of just blowing our proverbial musical explosion, our musical love explosion all over the key of D minor rock mode. You can start to hear these chords take shape underneath. Come on. So we really start to hear all of the chord, the harmony taking shape as we're playing. Even though every single note out of that, not every single note, most notes out of that are straight from. So. Some of these arpeggios you'll recognize if you've ever studied any Paul Gilbert stuff or Nuno Bettencourt stuff. I didn't personally pick it up and identify it from there, but when I heard them do it, I was like, oh, that's that sound. A lot of these arpeggiations sound, they lay out extremely nice on mandolin. And you got to remember my background is mandolin. So when I'm playing a lot of things, this is the Paul Gilbertism. When I see that, or when I I see those, I don't really see them from that perspective, but I think it might be helpful if you identify the moments in your playing where you think you're a blues guy playing a blues lick or a rock guy playing a rock lick or whatever, and start just seeing how it all connects to the same lock points. You know, specifically the 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 1, and that B flat would be like 1, 3, sharp 11. I love that sound. Oh, not enough gain. Let's roll the gain up. Becomes way easier with a little more distortion. Alright, so it's that kind of thing. One more time, Andy. These are a lot of the shapes that I use in Master Gracie's Manor. Like that. Right? So if we slow that down, I feel like I'm sometimes wasting your time because I feel like this is stuff that you might know. But on the other hand, I got to remind myself we don't all come from the same background, so you may not know this stuff. All I'm essentially doing is anchoring a lot of this around one octave, another octave, and another octave. Seeing it like a piano player could just blast through 3 different octaves pretty easily. So if we have... I'm seeing that octave right there. So 1, 3, 5, 1. And now we're going to see that same thing in the next octave. And then the next octave. Apply to everything major, minor, major 7, dominant 7, diminished. It'd be all, it would just move things. There's major, major 7. So you could take the concept and then apply the concept to a lot of different things. All right. Pentatonics is the name of the game today. Kind of hits me that everything that I think sounds cool when I dig into it, a lot of times is just pentatonic-y. And I think pentatonic stuff is awesome. I think a lot of guys aren't taking advantage of how much information is in the pentatonics. And crazy tapping stuff always tends to be pentatonic-y because it sounds wild and wide. All of that stuff, right? Move into the next position. You'd have a lot of these, right? The next one would be. The next one would be. Oh, sorry. What's crazy is it really is this. It really is that, right? So we're going. sorry, it would be... I don't really use that one a lot because the fret distancing makes it weird. It's got the most jumps. See what I mean? Jump. Jump. I like the ones that tend to be less jumps on either side of the hand. So if we have the one that's down here, the right hand only has to jump one fret. If we have it up an octave here, the right hand won't jump any and the left hand only has to jump one fret. See what I mean by that? You kind of dig what I'm saying? Hang on, let me... I don't know why it's giving me this signed out thing. There we go. It's messing up. And I want to be signed in. I don't know if my live stream just went away. Is it still there? Okay. I hope it's still there. It's saying that I'm signed out even though I shouldn't be. Give me just a second to see if I can straighten this out. I don't know why this is doing this and acting weird. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. I don't know the problem here. Open the YouTube app on your phone. Give me just a second. Yes, it's me. All right, cool. There we go. So let me show you those pentatonics, that pentatonic tapping thing when you hear it in context with just the backing track. And I'll play it at like a halftime kind of feel so you can like hear it. Let's take the solo section. Right. Right? So it's not that crazy. Now you can get a cool sound too by leaving notes out. And something I do a lot. Play a 9 right there and keep it a straight line. And then the 9 will be in. So let's hear that. Like the halftime thing first. Without that squeak. That's stupid. Up the squeak. Much mileage can come out of that. Now let's look at it diagonal, like we were talking about earlier. Okay, cool. It's some laughter and some poking of funs, saying it's not hard. I mean, it's something that once you get used to it, a lot of this super fast playing, I think, has a lot of scary tendencies around it where guys are like, I just can't move my fingers that fast. I would disagree, and here's how I'm going to red team you. Can you just do this? This is what I would play if I was miming. I would just be that guy. You know, that kind of thing. If you could do that, you're basically moving your fingers fast enough to do this stuff. A lot of this stuff is not about the physical speed of the hand or the physical speed of the fingers. It's about the accuracy and the precision that lie in that. You know, there's certain habits that I think guys don't take inventory of. One is keeping the first finger planted at all times. It's a kind of a bad habit. If you keep that first finger planted, let's say you're going... I can't even keep it planted if I wanted to. Oh, that feels terrible. And guys do that all the time, and it feels terrible. If you work the first finger... so much faster. Keeping that first finger kind of in motion like the rest of the fingers really makes a huge difference. That's habit number one. Habit number two is right hand and left hand synchronization. So an illusion of speed is maybe alternate picking this at 16th notes. Let's take that real quick. It's not that fast. One again, a two again, a 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 one. got room to double up if you so feel the need or so have the facility. I mean, that's kind of like riding on the edge of my alternate picking on those 16th note, those triplets, right? Those things. Yeah, it's really right on the edge, right? So, kind of allows you to build intensity. Now, this tune, when I play it to a backing track, there's a little bit of a staleness because I don't have the opportunity to improvise with a band. And that section's one that we just stretch forever. But that's the case. You got the opportunity to build a lot of intensity up. Okay, so now let's talk about one more little lick. This one came across Instagram, and it's Joe Bonamassa. He was like demoing something, and I thought, oh, that's neat. You hear the Clapton influence, you hear the EJ influence, all of it, right? So let's play it. You start adding some bends into it. So we'll go through it slow. Let's do one with bends. So slowly, it starts in this box, and then it's going to work itself up on the middle string sets, like that. That's really the meat of it. One more time. And then again, when you're in this box, play some bends. It really adds some sass to it. And then when you're coming up it, you start seeing how this stuff connects in that 3-octave thing. A little chromatic right there. Little burn in there, but you can kind of see now if we don't play it all together like that. So here's maybe like a perspective. You want to be able to see the guitar and the geometry and all those octaves at the same time, even if you're not necessarily rotating a lick through all 3 octaves. So even if I'm not playing, I'm still able to see it through there because that might be my connective tissue coming down. Right, even if I don't go up that way. Maybe I go. one style, right? We're starting to kind of develop our own voice in it. And at least that's something that, like, this is the kind of thing where I just start like pushing and pulling the ideas around until it starts to sound like moments of people that I like, but more importantly, you're developing your own voice on it. You're developing your own swagger, your own peacock feathers. You know what I mean by that? You're kind of developing your own peacock feathers, and your individuality and your thumbprints kind of starting to come through as a you thing. And if you like more bends, you should work those bends around in all these positions, right? So let's maybe take that. Maybe you're like, oh, we just broke a string. Let's get a different guitar. That means it's time for new strings for sure. Let's get Big Red here, this Big Red Ferrari. Scuderia. Scuderia. That's a little more Viking-esque, right? Definitely those kind of licks for this. I don't really play a lot of metal, but sometimes that stuff's fun to play. This guitar makes me want to play so over the top and aggressive. It is definitely not a subtle. It is not a subtle instrument at all. This one is about as subtle as a combat boot to the back of the head, right? Trying to see those changes as they come along, right? pretty tune. Right? Yeah. I see some people asking about some country stuff. All right, do some questions. And I hope that some of this stuff was moderately helpful. The whole goal is that you're not looking at pentatonic as one thing, and scalular is another thing, and playing through changes is another thing. Hopefully you're not dividing that all up, and hopefully I'm being helpful in this shooting from the hip kind of mentality. That you're not segmenting and fragmenting all these things. They all kind of live under the same umbrella, you know? They live under the same idea of just playing good music. All right, cool. Let's hit some questions. And like and subscribe, please. Do all the things, right? Andy, how best to practice landing on chord tones and anticipate the next chord? How to ease into it slowly, but get faster in it in the heat of battle? This is a great question. Yeah, great question. So, when we have maybe the blues and we're in the key of A, like a working man blues, because I see somebody talking about country. Kind of heard the chord change go by, that 1 to 4. If you're not good at this stuff, then starting with a blues and just trying to play to the 4 chord. Take a small amount of information. So if you have the blues and you playing it, it doesn't really matter the style of blues. It could be rock blues, country blues, jazz blues, anything. Basically, you've got 1, 2, 3. We're just trying to hear that downbeat of the 4 chords. So let's take the working man blues thing slow. We kind of heard that 4 chord come by because on that downbeat, I landed on the 3rd of the D. You can land on the 1 of the D. You can land on the 3 of the D. I wouldn't necessarily land on the 5 of D because that is the 1 of A, and that doesn't really tell you a new chord happened. Example of wrong way to do it. Playing an A. 1, 2, 3, 4. All we heard over that 4 chord was just A. So the only reason we would know that we went to a new chord would be if the entire band behind me played it. Let's do it again. Simple information, minor pentatonic, but now I'm going to try to land on the 4 chord. So that 4 chords information means we got to land on those chord tones on the downbeat. 1, 2, 3. So not only did we get to hear that, we got to hear the 5, the next 4, and then a little chromatic walk down at the end. One more time, do it down low. Only simple pentatonic stuff. 1, 2, 3. Let's play it with up to speed. 1, 2, 1. Try to keep it simple. I suck right there. I wanted too much information at the same time. Here we go. So it's interesting to challenge yourself to put parameters and bumpers on the sides of the road and look at it and go, okay, I'm only going to play simple stuff. Because if I allow myself the freedom to play as I would just play over that, there'd be a lot more of information. I'd probably overplay it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. something wacky to that effect. Vexen Theories, would you like to play a song? I mean, I can play a song. Which one would you like to hear? Charisma? I haven't played that in a while. Shoot the Sun Down? Let's do Charisma. I haven't done that in a while. Let's try that one. I wanted to keep soloing, but the track was ending. I wanted to keep soloing over that. I like that. I like those chord changes to solo over. Fun stuff to solo over. Yeah. Okay. Now, shout out to Mordred 478. If I want to play like Steve Morse, what's the first thing I need to work on? My alternate picking is already very good. That's a great question. Obviously, Steve Morse is one of my biggest influences. I love Steve's playing. The thing that I would look at to play like Steve Morse is how to play over major chords, specifically dominant chords. Steve has a sound, and a lot of times, you know, he's combining pedal steel bends, those kind of things. And if you play that a fourth up and not an octave, you get maybe the, let's see. That thing, right? That's a very Steve kind of thing, but more importantly, let's just look at like playing over a D chord. Chromatics are going to be your friend. So when I think of Steve Morse, I think of a lot of chromaticism. And if we take the minor pentatonic box, we're going to need to make that a major. But Steve would have a neat way of outlining that with enclosures. That's something that I think is very Steve Morse. Again, if we have... Anytime we have that third up to the 5... That's a very Steve Morse thing too, using the chromatics to connect the major. That's one more time. All of this now, these sequencing things I think sound very Steve Morse too. Very Steve Morse-esque. So I would look at that. Like that. You know, those kind of things I think sound very Steve. You can hear it in the intro of Too Many Notes as well. And the last thing I'm going to add to playing like Steve is 3 note per string arpeggios. Those kind of things. So if we have that all together. All that stuff. Woo, it's a tough tune. There's a lot into Steve's playing, and I think the best thing that you could ever do is go to Steve's website and buy his transcriptions and learn his music. That's the number one thing you could do. However, there's always things to be sniffing around the internet for that can lead you in the right direction. How's your Andy? How you doing? How's your mental health? I'm pulled thin. I'm so pulled thin. I'm just like, oh, one of these days you're just gonna be like, it's gonna pop, you know. But I'm good, man. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I appreciate you. Here we go. Sounding great. I'm going to watch more. Subscribed. Cheers. Appreciate you. The new Sweetwater video you did was killer. And I love to shout out to the golden pipes of Andy Campbell. Yeah, Andy Campbell's amazing. And one that we did this weekend with Skankbanger was... You know, I love the Aerosmith stuff. Andy sounds great on it. Another one we did new that was... come on. We did that one, and he's so good. I'm modding an old Strat set shaped object today. Perfect stream for bench work. Cheers, Jeremy. We'll call that guitar the cease and desist. Where does the guitar sound come from? From in here, man. In here. No, I'm kidding. Not really. The guitar is going through a Sir SL68, which is my favorite amp, currently being offered out by anybody. I love it. It's a lot of headroom. I'd like it. I may even have John mod it to where it stays cleaner longer. The dirt, the secret sauce, as always, my 2 pedals, the Woodshed compressor and the Wampler gearbox. All of that tasty stereo delay is coming at you from a Fractal VP4. I watched the Alan Jackson Brent Mason stream twice. Super helpful. Thanks, Jeremy. Appreciate you, my friend. Where do you typically like your low cut when using modelers? 50 hertz. And then I move it based on the cabinet. You understand that, like, when you're using a modeler, you're bringing up a different cabinet. So, a vintage 30 or an EV12L, they're all going to have a different low end. It's not a one size to fit everybody. There's not an EQ of power, one EQ to rule them all and in the darkness bind them. It doesn't work like that. So for me, it's like I move that low end depending on what cabinet's being modeled and what microphone's being modeled. You sound like you're ready for the new Savatage album. I don't know what Savatage is. Awesome. Cool. Thanks. I think unless they're trash, I don't know what Savatage is. So, Storms, Free Range, Forgotten Secrets. Yeah, we could do another one. How much about the guitar are you using? The Canada price, where to order them from? Lawrence, I'm going to try to decipher what you're saying. This guitar is an anniversary model. This is the 1 of 100. This is the Rosso Corso, which is Ferrari's color, and near and dear to my heart. I've been a fan of Ferrari for a long time. You guys, I think maybe one thing that I've never mentioned is how I fell in love with Ferrari. My passion for cars came from my father, and we would go to car shows and just take the Supra. I had a Toyota Supra that was maxed out. Every goodie that you could imagine. It was like somebody went through the HKS catalog and just started picking stuff out. Front mount intercooler, single turbo from SP Engineering, carbon fiber dash, TRD wide body, candy apple red, like maxed HRE wheels. And we would go to these car shows, and me and Dad worked on the thing with my friends, and very close-knit group of dudes, best people I've ever been blessed to know. And we would go to those car shows, and it would be like early 2000s. We were all kids, and man, we'd pull in, and there'd be all the imports, the Japanese cars. And occasionally you get to see a Skyline, which was really nuts back then. It's still nuts today, but it was really nuts back then. And there'd be the RX-7s and the Supras and the Evos. And then, if you were lucky, at a Hot Import Nights or a Nopi, there'd be a section of the car show, usually where like Meguiar's polish and these kind of upscale big money brands, they would have like a Ferrari 430 or a 360 Modena, or something like that in the booth. If it was really the 430, that was really the one that was out. At some point in my life, I would love to be able to get a gated manual 430. That's one on the checklist. Anyways, you got to understand at this time in the early 2000s, Michael Schumacher had shown up. And there's never been anybody in Formula One that did what he did to the sport. I mean, Michael is my GOAT. He's my greatest of all time. He's Michael Jordan. He's Tom Brady. Like Schumacher. Schumacher in the Marlboro red and white. Marlboro on the fin, on the wing of the Formula One car. And they just sounded like banshees. The racing was super aggressive back then. Kimi Räikkönen was driving back then. So many great, so great. And I've always loved Ferrari since then. Ferrari was never a brand that I was into like someone would say Rolex or something. It was never about the pedigree or the flex of this is cool because it's expensive. It being expensive was like a byproduct that was not in my head. The reason I didn't have one was because it was expensive. But the love and the passion for the car wasn't like, some people are into those brands because they want to have a yacht and Rolexes and have the flex. You know what I mean? Like a money flex. That was never it. it was the perfect storm of being that age and the bond with my friends and my dad, and that being the one that would always be just over in the corner somewhere of the car show. And you would just be like, dude, did y'all see that 430? Golly dang. You know, and back then everybody wanted the Formula One transmission. They had the little plaque in the 360s and the 430s that was the championship, you know, the championship years Ferrari world champion. They would have a plaque in there. That's the year that I'd really want as one of the world championship years. And if I'm not mistaken, even in the Cars movie, you know the one. Even in the Cars movie, I think Michael Schumacher at the very end, doesn't he show up and he is a 430? You know, he pulls into the Italian restaurant. Anyways, that's that. All of that to be said, that's the inspiration for this, which is a Rosso Corsa Ferrari red with carbon fiber. And the pickups have that oiled exhaust manifold kind of look to them. Everything about this guitar is like automotive. And its sibling, of course, if you're an automotive fan, you know that there's a huge rivalry between Ferrari and Lamborghini. And I always thought that was part of the cool mythos. To me, one of the coolest things in the mythos and the lore, you know, Enzo Ferrari was kind of not the nicest guy in the world. He is, you know, he's known to say things as crazy as, who cares how big the gap is? I want them to shh their pants when they hit the gas. That was very much an Enzo philosophy. And if you don't know the lore, there's Enzo told old man Ferruccio Lamborghini when he came in to so he was suggesting to do something to the clutch, and Ferrari told him to say, stick to building tractors. And so that started the rivalry, right? So when we were doing the 10-year anniversary guitars, I wanted to do something that celebrated that. I thought that was really cool. So this is the Ferrari red, and then this is based off of a color that Lamborghini has called Arancia Borealis. Arancia Borealis. Sorry. Let me grab it, show it to you. And these guitars are super limited. You can see how like candy orange that is. A cool thing is Ian Thornley's on tour with Big Wreck right now, and he's playing an orange one on tour, which is awesome. But this is the Arancia Borealis. Automotive colors always look so good on guitars. They always look so good on guitars. And then, of course, the red is like, come on. You know what I mean? Super, super cool. And super proud of these. These are a milestone for me to have a 10-year anniversary model. Very, very flattered, very honored. So yeah, that's the history about the guitars. As far as where to order one, you can reach out to Sir on the website, and then from there, their sales team will help you find one of these in stock if there is still some in stock. I think they haven't completed all of the orders yet. By that, I mean all of the orders have been purchased from dealers, but the dealers haven't gotten all of the inventory in. I don't think. I think they're still it was like a year cycle of making them, building them. So, yeah. So a couple of things. Play the Thrill Is Gone by B.B. King. Wow. Okay. What a unique challenge. If I open another tab, will it shut down what we're doing right now? I don't know the answer. I don't think I can. I don't think I can open the second tab and do it. Yeah. I don't think it can. I'm sorry. I need to figure out a way to do that on a live stream. I can do it in a Zoom call, but I can't do it in a live stream. All right. Always thought the B part was tougher. Yeah, there's a lot of parts to Stress Fest. That one's really tough too. Yeah. Thanks for the kind words on the Sweetwater video. I love hanging out with Nick. Yeah. All right. Play any Blue Oyster Cult. I don't remember it. Is that it? I'm trying to remember it. You're putting me on the spot with some of these things. Is it? I don't think it goes down like that, does it? That's not in there. I don't remember it. I don't remember. I know that's how it starts. I don't. That's the best I can do from memory. Oh, sorry. I wish I knew. I wish I could just have everything on deck all the time. But I can't do it from memory. Are you a big fan of Danny Elfman? Absolutely, 1,000%. I love Danny Elfman. Savatage is a Tampa, Florida-based metal band from back in the day. I'll check them out. Candyman 21. What happened to the Supra? Man. So I'd been on a bit of a sabbatical, a crucible, if you will. And I've been trying to find the car. And I want to hopefully get it back someday. Now, you got to understand, I don't want another Supra. I want that Supra that me and Dad built. And in the Supra realm, in that circle, cars get modified a lot. And I was expecting the car to be black now or gray or repainted, some different color or anything like that. And about 2.5 weeks ago, I found the car. And the car is in New York, and it looks just like the day that my dad and I, or the day that I sold it. Yeah, so let me bring this up and see. I don't know if you'll be able to see it through the camera, but so there it is. It's in New York, and there she is. She looks just like the day I sold her, man. And I reached out to the young man that owns it, and his dad and him own it together, and they have a shop up there, and they do JDM cars. And man, it just made my heart so full knowing that a father and son have it. That said, I really want that car back. So if you see this, if you're ever seeing one of my streams, I want that car back. Give me first crack to get it back. I want it, man. And kind of an Andy Summers tone. Yeah, Yeah, it's definitely got that for sure. What was that one? Is it in C sharp? Is there? Is that how it's played? Is it open string like that? Is it like that? Is it in C sharp like that? Yeah, man. Okay. So also, you know, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I definitely want to throw flowers and love towards Wayne Charvel. Wayne Charvel is one thing I really wanted to mention here on the live stream today. Wayne Charvel gave so much to the guitar community, and just a legend, really. You know, the blacksmith that forged the weapons of gods kind of legend, you know. Wayne Charvel's Charvel Guitars, and I think we all know what that company is all about. The humbucker, the Super Strat, the Warren D. Martinis of the world. I think Ed played a Charvel at a time. You know, it's just like, so this is my thank you and love and flowers to Wayne's family, and to us. We all lost a hero and an icon, but they lost family members. So this is my flowers and love and respect to the Charvel family, and I hope you can find some peace in all the great things that Wayne left us. So yeah, man, heavy stuff. You know, it's like these guys are, in my mind, they're always just going to live forever. You know, I'm still not convinced that Jimmy Page is a real person. You know what I mean? There's a part of me that just doesn't see the people that we look up to as fathers and brothers and uncles. You know, I just see them as like mythological beings. You know, but it is really a small circle that we roll in with music, and the bond and the fraternal order and the fraternal bond of the keepers of the flame of guitar. And man, you know, it's like we're a small community, and if you got something nice to say, maybe think about leaving that on the Charvel post. So, you know, going over there and leave some kind words over there. Really important. One of the things I'd like to mention as well, I have a video coming out on the amp build. This little guy right here, Chuck, the mighty Chuck, is getting me a thumbnail, and we're going to be posting that probably today or tomorrow. I made a video, and I didn't realize at the time of making it, it basically just talks about the build experience with Daniel Klein from Port City Amps. I had no idea that his world got rocked in the past month, 2 months, month and a half. Daniel has some very serious cranial brain tumor issues, and he's had surgery. If you wouldn't mind to put in, allow me to hopefully type in the link. If you, let's see here. It's on the GoFundMe, and it is this copy. Let's see that whole thing. Is there a way that I can paste that? Hang on. I'm going to send it to Chuck. I'm going to say, Chuck, will you paste this? Chuck, if you're seeing this, will you paste this link right here? And if Chuck sees that, he will paste it in the chat, maybe even in the description of the video. It should be the GoFundMe to support Daniel's fight against brain cancer. Daniel is head of Port City Amps and make wonderful, wonderful amplifiers. He's a great guy. I've known Daniel for freaking 15 years. Thank you, Chuck. This link right here will allow you to go throw some dollar papers towards Daniel. Now, it's not lost on me that everybody doesn't have a money tree growing in their backyard. So all I'm going to ask is, if you aren't financially in a spot to donate to Daniel and his family, if you would just maybe take that link right there and just post it in your stories or your Facebook, and any kind of threads or chats where guitar community stuff is being shared. If you wouldn't mind just to copy that link right there and paste that, the more money we can raise to help a brother out, the better we're doing. And, I hope that it helps. You guys know this, man, like medical stuff, brother, it's expensive. Medical stuff is expensive. It's expensive to be sick. It really is. And, it doesn't matter how successful you are in life or how unsuccessful. All these measuring factors kind of become irrelevant in my mind. If somebody has something like this, it doesn't matter if you give $10 or $10,000. You're just trying to do the right thing to help somebody else, And I'm not preaching at you. I'm not gonna go Baptist preacher with the offering plate or any of that, kind of stuff. But I would like you just to take a couple of seconds and just scope out that story. If you feel so moved or inclined, please share that link and help Daniel out. He's a great dude, man. So that's with Port City. So an interesting live stream today, talking a little technique and talking a little tone and talking a little this and that. For those that don't realize, I do these live. If you're watching it after the fact, I do leave them up on YouTube. So these are all just shooting from the hip. And these are basically funded by my Patreon channel. So to all the Patreon members, you're the reason that I get to do these every Tuesday. And I'm going to do a few more. I'm going to do a special one tomorrow where I walk through the Woodshed guitar experience schedule with you guys. And if you see this, the Woodshed guitar schedule, let me do something crazy just for this. We might have to edit this section out in post. This will be something just for you guys that get to see it here in real time. I don't know. This will be an upper level management decision. I'm just going to go for it. Use AWood300. This is the code that I use when I do live clinics, like when I did my clinic tour earlier in the summer. Use code AWood300. Get yourself $300 off. We have just a few spots left. One of the things we've just added is an RV option. We have own our facility, and so that means that the single cabins sell out really fast. Now, the shared cabins are wonderful, and what happens most of the time is guys come as a single cabin the first year, they make friends with somebody, and they do a shared cabin next year. They're wonderful. But we also know some people have been wanting, like, hey, man, do you have any single cabins left? Don't have any single cabins left. Don't have any. So now we're exploring this RV option. There's also options to come in and camp yourself if you like to. We have all the, Wi-Fi and everything. It's like, it's glamping. It's not camping. It's glamping. So use that code. And the Woodshed guitar experience this year, I've been handling some municipalities of it all lately, getting the generators and the production lined up. And we've got Eric Gales is coming in. I'm so fired up about that. We've got Justin Derrico is coming to us all the way from LA to tell us stories about being a road touring hero for Pink, and also what it's like to be on probably the biggest music television show, which is The Voice, or one of the biggest, and I'm excited about that. He's a lethal player too. Super excited to have Justin. I've talked to him. He's a wonderful guy. Great, best, tops, gold star. Martin Miller is coming in from Germany. Sick player. Brethren, a guy that came up in the Petrucci forums with me. I love that dude. I love all those dudes so much. And Martin is coming in. Super excited to just watch him do his thing. Lethal player. Who else do we have? We've got Greg Koch coming back. People are like, you don't say it like Koch, it's a Koch. And they're always commenting in in the comments section. And I always think it's funny. I'm like, do you not think I'm friends with Greg? Do you not think that I talked to Greg? Like, why would you, what are we doing? What are we trying to prove? So anyway, Greg Cock and the Cog Marshall Trio coming in hot. So we got, there's one more that I'm super excited about. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I get to say this. John Jorgensen from the Helicasters, from Elton John's band. Dude, John Jorgensen, are you freaking kidding me? Super awesome player. One of my favorites, and I still remember some of his tunes. There's the I need to go back and learn them and have them really slick for when he gets here. I got to go back and learn. And there's another one called Easter Island Heads. I think how'd that go? No, it was this. If something like that had that little thing. And I'm going to go back and relearn it. I got to find it was on his instructional video. The Lord knows that's long since been lost, but maybe there's a copy of it on YouTube that I can go back and learn. Easter Island Heads was the name of that song. So I got to go back and learn it. Anyways, Eric Gales, Martin Miller, Greg Koch, Justin Dierko, John Jorgensen. Ridiculous lineup. No iPads. Hey, no iPads. Real band. Live band. That's huge for these type of events. Lord knows that I've had to play to an iPad way too many times. We got a sick live band and super excited about it. Listen, this is coming up in 40-something days, 45 days. This is the Woodshed Guitar Experience, and I am so excited. I would love to see you there. And if you have the opportunity to come and hang out with us in Tennessee, use code AWOOD300. Come on. There's only a few slots left. Let's fill them up. Let's hang. Let's have a wonderful time. Things I can't say. Things that I didn't say. We do all kinds of fun stuff and various contests. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. There's going to be a lot of great manufacturers there. I want to give a shout out to Joe Wyatt, Passion for Tone. He will be sponsoring the Wattage Cottage. We have the mighty Joe Glazer Instruments, the B-Bender, coming in. Dave Friedman's coming in. Rumor is Dave Friedman's going to bring Tracy Guns to hang. Now, I don't know if that's factual yet, but there's been rumors. There's been text messages, things like this. So super excited. Thanks to all the folks and all the team that are helped me put this on. It's definitely a labor of love. And we try to create something that gives you guys an experience in 4 days that you'll freaking never forget. Uncle Ben will be there hanging out to tell some tales from his adventures out with Machine Head this summer. Super proud of my boy getting out there and doing the thing. Andy Campbell, as always. Daniel Kimbrough. Jim Riley. Just studs. Studs of the industry. Titans of the industry. And super proud to have such an all-star band. If these names don't mean anything to you, let me say this. Daniel Kimbrough plays bass for Eric Johnson. So I know that one means something to you guitar nerds out there. So it's super great to have such a wonderful cast of folks that help put this on. And, shout out to the Dylans, Ellas, Robs, Rogers, Chucks. Chuck always does more than he should. The Johns, there's just a wonderful crew of people that help make Woodshed special. And we're going to do a live stream tomorrow that's just on Woodshed. Let's do it at the same time. We'll do it at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And we're going to just talk about Woodshed and get in the weeds and probably bring up a lot of this stuff. So thanks for hanging out this week. That's the TLDR. And to review, listen, don't try to bite off too much at one time. If some of the techniques and things that we were displaying and talking about earlier feel like a lot, just rewind it, just pause it, rewind it, and try to take things a piece at a time. Not try to get overwhelmed by the complexity of music. Music's hard. Guitar's hard. It's not easy. So don't let it overwhelm you. Don't let it discourage you. Next thing is, please take a few minutes to visit that link with Daniel Klein, the GoFundMe. Let's make any subscriptions that I would typically plug right now for the website and the Patreon. Just go to Daniel's page instead. Don't worry about me today. Worry about Daniel. And I really appreciate you guys so much. As always, wonderful times. I've got to change some strings. Clearly, things are starting to break because they've been on the guitar too long. So I need to do a little bench work, a little pit stop action. Hope you enjoyed hearing the big red one. And, if you're looking for one of these guitars or the pedals or any of that stuff, you can always just email Sir or visit our friends at Sweetwater. Sweetwater is a Sir dealer. You have Open Chord. You have Guitar Sanctuary if you're out in Texas. You have Matt's Music if you're up in the Northeast. You have Miami Guitar. Wonderful dealers all over the country. And Wildwood, great guitar dealers all over the country. I can't list them all, but you can get in one and listen. We're working on something that I hope to debut at Woodshed, so stay tuned on that aspect. I appreciate you guys. Chuck's got the link right there for the GoFundMe. Everyone be blessed. Have a great week. Be good to each other. We'll see you tomorrow.